Welcome to the Sinister Crime. Today we're talking about a case that still gives people the chills, a crime so horrifying that it left a permanent stain on American true crime history. And no, we're not just talking about a murder case. We're diving into the horror house that followed. We're heading straight into the nightmare that is the Amityville Horror House. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because trust me, you don't want to miss out on the sinister cases we cover here. All right, let's get into it. It all starts with this picture-perfect house. You know, the kind you'd see on a postcard? 112 Ocean Avenue, a beautiful Dutch colonial-style home in Amityville, New York. It had a waterfront view, a cozy little neighborhood, and the kind of peaceful suburban life that people dream of. If you saw it, you'd probably think, wow, I'd love to live there. But this house, it was about to become one of the most infamous crime scenes in history. The DeFeo family moved into this house in 1965. The father, Ronald DeFeo Sr., was doing well financially, owning a car dealership, and his wife Louise took care of their 5 children. From the outside looking in, they were living the American dream. But behind closed doors, it was anything but a dream, more like a ticking time bomb. Their eldest son, Ronald DeFeo Jr., aka Butch, born in 1951, was dealing with a lot. His relationship with his father? Absolutely terrible. Ronald Sr. was known to be controlling and abusive, and Butch, he had a reputation for being a troubled kid. There were fights, tension, and a whole lot of dysfunctions. And then, on November 13th, 1974, that ticking time bomb, it finally exploded. It was just another regular evening in Amityville, or so everyone thought. But that night, Butch walked into Henry's bar in town looking panicked, telling everyone, "You gotta help me! I think my mother and father have been shot." A few concerned people followed him back to his house, and what they found was absolutely chilling. Inside, the entire DeFeo family, his parents and 4 younger siblings, were all lifeless. Not just dead, executed in their beds, lying face down. And the strangest part is that there were no signs of a struggle. No one had tried to run, no one had screamed, nothing. It was almost like they never even knew what was coming. When police arrived, they found that all 6 victims had been shot with a .35 caliber rifle. The parents were each shot twice, and the children a single bullet each. It was brutal. At first, Butch played the grieving son. He told police a story about a mob hitman saying his family was targeted, but as detectives started piecing things together, his story, it wasn't adding up. The biggest question was, how did no one wake up? There was no silencer on the gun, and these were loud gunshots. And yet, every single person was found in the same position, face down in their beds. And then, under pressure, Butch finally broke down. He admitted it. He was the one who had pulled the trigger. But his reasoning? Butch claimed that he wasn't in control when he did it. He said he was possessed, that voices told him to kill his family. And you know what? This wasn't the last time the word possession would be linked to this house. In court, Butch tried to use an insanity defense, saying he had been driven to commit the murders by supernatural forces. But prosecutors weren't buying it. They pointed to something else, something more human. Just days after the murders, Butch had already been asking about cashing in on his father's life insurance policies. In 1975, he was found guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison, where he stayed until his death in 2021. Case closed, right? Not even close. 1 month after the murders, the house sat empty. Then in December 1975, a new family moved in, George and Kathy Lutz, along with Kathy's 3 children from a previous marriage. And here's where things get really weird. Almost immediately, the Lutz family reported terrifying paranormal activity. We're talking things like objects moving on their own, strange noises in the middle of the night, and foul smells with no explanation. George claimed he would wake up at 3:15 a.m. every single night, the exact time the murders had happened. Then there were the more extreme things. Kathy said she would feel a strange presence touching her at night. The family's daughter started talking to an imaginary friend named Jody, except Jody wasn't just any imaginary friend. Jody was described as a demonic pig with glowing red eyes. And then there was the moment George saw his wife levitating above the bed. Yeah, it was like something straight out of a horror movie. After just 28 days, the Lutz family had had enough. They fled the house, leaving all their belongings behind. They claimed they were so traumatized that they could never go back. Their story gained national attention when writer Jay Anson published the Amityville Horror in 1977, turning their experiences into a best-selling book. Then came the movies, the documentaries, and the endless speculation. Some believed the Lutzes, saying the trauma of the DeFeo murders had left a dark, supernatural energy in the house. Others were skeptical, arguing that it was all a hoax for money. So what's the truth? Was the house truly haunted? Or was it all just an elaborate story? Even today, no one really knows for sure. The Amityville Horror House still stands, though it has changed owners multiple times, and its address was even altered to keep people away. What we do know is this: the night of November 13th, 1974 was real. 6 innocent people lost their lives. And whether you believe in the supernatural or not, one thing is certain: the Amityville Horror House will forever be one of the most chilling stories in true crime history. Alright guys, that's it for today's case. Let me know in the comments, do you believe the house was haunted? Or was it all just a twisted story? And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more sinister cases. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and I'll see you in the next episode.